just out and about. You wouldn't think that they'd come out all the way out here to harass me, would you? But you'd be wrong in thinking that, because they are not heavy harassment, but just the usual one hand in pocket stuff, you know what I mean? I was just thinking, I hate to be honest about it, but I think the only way we're going to stop this harassment is when the government is destroyed, basically, or at the very least overthrown, because we're obviously in a tyrannical government that's masquerading as a democracy. So I'm not saying you should go out there shoot people, but that obviously isn't the answer, but there's got to be some action taken against the government in some form or other before I believe any of this gang stalking, harassment, or whatever you want to call it, targeting, is going to stop, because as long as they're in charge, they're just going to keep doing it, I'm afraid, and this is a worldwide problem. See all the cows and shit. They put the cows out here on the moors to eat all the plants, just to keep it right. But back to what I was saying. Thinking of these cows, a lot of people are like these cows, just with their heads down. You know what I mean? They're not looking around them. They're just, as long as they got some grass to eat, they're just docile. It's kind of like you people out there. As long as you've got some grass to smoke or drink or whatever, you're happy. So I know a lot of people are like that, and to some extent I used to be like that. I mean, a couple of years back I was just smoking weed constant, you know what I mean? It just made me feel bad eventually, and I just stopped. I still had a little puff or two of weed at a friend's place the other week, but I'm trying to even stop that. But as for me, outside of that, on a weekend, I'm not smoking anymore. It's just not. I just don't want to get in that state again, because I was in a state where I just felt numb from everything, like I was disconnected from all my family and my friends and everything. Like nothing mattered, even if my grandma or granddad or whatever died, it didn't matter, and that feeling was pretty horrible. And so you can see the purple one hand again down there. But yeah, sunglasses is a theme they've been doing today. Loads of people with sunglasses in cars or, on foot, pretty much. You can see it's texted and that here. But yeah, they're just... they're just going to keep doing it, I'm afraid. As long as they think they can get away with it, then they're just going to keep doing it, and I believe no amount of activism is going to stop it until the system collapses. And, it gets burnt like Rome did to the ground. it's just going to carry on, because this is a corrupt system that's steadily moving towards totalitarian state. It's a soft totalitarian state at the minute. It's all done, undercover and with black projects, but I don't believe any amount of activism is going to stop it. Exposing it will help, obviously, but if you just go to the news and say I'm being gang stalked or I'm being targeted, they're just going to, at the very most, they're just not going to reply to you, because they're controlled by the government. It's like going to your enemy's messenger and saying, can you tell the world about this? It's not going to happen like that. So your best bet is just exposing it on YouTube, and just fight it. If they fight you psychologically, fight them psychologically. If they try and get physical, you fight them physical. You know what I'm saying? But I believe until this government, and it'll come, it'll destroy itself. This system is on a path to self-destruction, just like Rome was, and just like so many other civilizations. As soon as they started getting evil and dark and fucking each other literally all over, they collapsed, because without morals and honour in a system, it will collapse. It's like they say there's no honour among thieves. Think of it as in the government scale. It's beginning more and more to be run by, thieves and criminals and dishonourable people. They aren't smart, and people that aren't smart make mistakes. And think of it like this. Think of you give a a toddler a gun, and they're likely to blow their head off, aren't they? Before they shoot anyone else. They may shoot someone else, but they're just as likely to blow their head off. Think of that in a governmental sense. This is what's going to happen. They're going to blow their own heads off. So we don't have to do anything. We just have to wait. Let them do it, because obviously we can't overthrow them with force, physical force. The best bet is a psychological operation. If I thought we could overthrow them with force, I wouldn't hesitate. But at the moment, the best idea is resisting psychologically, and resisting mentally and verbally, and if necessary physically. But everything's against you. They've got the police, the army, everything's in their pocket. You know what I'm saying? Just give you a look at the scenery. But yeah, they'll destroy themselves, and nature will help them destroy themselves, because it's all in the man upstairs' hands, really. But the more people that are aware of this and are against what they're doing, the less people they've got. That's the way you should fight them. The more people you can turn against them, is the less people that will side with them. So you're outnumbered at the minute, but more people that dislike what the police are doing, the less recruits they're going to get for the police. The more people that realise the illegal, disgusting wars that are going on, the less soldiers they're going to get. So that's the best way to destroy them, is by cutting off their manpower. It's like they're trying to kill you with psychological operations, so you got to try and destroy them with psychological operations. And get as many people as you can against them, because the more people against them who don't like them, the less people that'll support them. And if they don't get any recruits for the police, how are they gonna oppress the people? You know what I mean? How are they gonna... And I know the people here who say there's good police, but there's police who are delusioned into thinking they're doing the right thing. But as far as I see, a lot of the stuff the police have done and do is oppression, and it's not about solving crimes, only serious crimes. They don't give a shit if they obviously don't care about you, because if they did, you'd be legally allowed to defend. Look, if you killed someone coming into your house who was trying to kill you, you're just as likely to go to jail as the person coming into your house. And this has happened many times. It just shows how much they care about your well-being. All they care about is looking good and, keeping things in order, how they see as order. Like I said, the New World Order. It's not new though. I know someone else said this, but it's true. It's not new. But, yeah. The less people they have on their side is the less people that can be used to target you, and the less people that can, because they're having it here in Britain. I know they're struggling to recruit police. They're struggling to recruit. Think of it with the perps. They'll be struggling to recruit because people are getting more aware on what's going on. The more they try and make life worse for the population, the more people, and they will, because like I said, it's being run by criminals and psychopaths, and they want control over you, and eventually the wolf will come out of the sheep's clothing, you know what I mean, and then we'll have a whole new thing. It's not got to that stage yet, but that's where we're heading to. It's happened before and it'll happen again, you know what I'm saying? But the less people they can use against you makes them weaker, because these are cowards. They won't do their own battles. They'll use people, manipulators. They'll manipulate you to think you're doing the right thing. They'll say that the soldiers are heroes when in reality they're butchering people in another country for the sake of oil. You know what I'm saying? This is the brainwashing they'll do. I'm not against soldiers. This isn't an attack against soldiers. This is an attack against your commanders. So if you're a soldier, don't think I'm calling you a Nazi or something. But you've been lied to. You're not, let's put it like this, you're not a hero doing what you do. You're an oppressor. You're being used to oppress other people in other countries and kill them. So, that's just one thought you should have. It's not your fault. You were lied to. You were told you were doing the right thing. Well, I mean, we've all been lied to. Since birth, we've been indoctrined in a school. We didn't have a choice to go to school. We had these lies forced down our necks, you know what I'm saying? So, it's basically it. So you're bound to make mistakes. What we've got to do is clear that, I'm just going to make another video because it's nearly 15 minutes and I can't load more than that.